Yo troops, welcome back to the Litanah army. I'm Lit and this is Fortnite Save the World. And what I want to look at today is must get heroes. So heroes you really should be trying to attain, whether you're a new player or whether you've been playing Save the World for a long time. It doesn't really matter, these heroes are still quite hard to get hold of, or some of them are, and the ones who you should be looking out for. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over each class. I'm going to give the main person who I think you should be getting in that class, and then I'm also going to give an honourable mention. Now that doesn't mean that the honourable mentions are second best. The honourable mentions probably someone who I just like to play, or I think, it might just be that they're really fun to play, and I'll tell you how to get each one of these heroes as well. Before we start though, guys, you comment down below who's your best hero in each class. So who's your best soldier, who's your best ninja, who's your best outlander, and who's your best constructor. I'd love to hear down below who people are using and why you use them as well. If you can, I don't know if you're people who write a lot of comments, I don't know if you're someone who gives me walls of text. You know me, I love the comments where we get a ton of text in there. So if you want to write down why you want, why each hero is important, then please feel welcome to do so. But I talk too much, so without further ado, let's jump in and let's see who are the best heroes in Fortnite Save the World. Okay then, so we'll start with the soldiers. These are my soldiers that I've got down here. I've got quite a decent collection. I've not got as many as I would like, but you always have a ton of soldiers because they're the most common one, because the skins come over from BR and we get loads of event heroes. Look, Stonesy Jonesy there taking pride of place, not leveled up even a single level, but gotta love Stonesy Jonesy, he's a massive hero of mine. So let's start off then. The biggest hero, or the one who you want the absolute most, I believe, as a soldier, if it's a soldier's a class that you like playing, is the Urban Assault Headhunter. Now this is the most obvious, which is why I've done it first. Now the main reason being is she's probably able to put out the most single target DPS in the game. And not only that, she's got great AoE skills as well, and on top of that, she's got an absolutely insane rate of fire. She has a huge headshot boost, and the rate of fire that's on there means that you can, if you're landing lots of headshots, she can be absolutely brutal to the husks when you're in any mission whatsoever. Now, if you go down to the bottom as well, she's got this awesome little skill here called Keep Out. So it leaves a residual energy field doing 15% of the initial grenade blast damage every 1 second over 10 seconds. Now, a great coupling to have with her, someone great to have with her. If you go over here to Double Agent Evelyn, and we go into her bonuses, she's got this, look, Cluster Bomb. Releases 6 cluster explosions around the impact site that will each do 12.5% of the original damage as well, giving the Urban Assault Headhunter even more flexibility when it comes to AoE clear. On top of that, she's got Shockwave as well in case she gets in case she gets swamped. But let's just very quickly go down her skills and look at why she's so awesome. So you've got Advanced Tactics, which is the standard soldier perk that you get on there. So increased range weapon damage by 10%, health increased by 10%. Soldiers are a sturdy bunch, we expect this. You've also got Going Commando. I'm not a massive fan of that. It basically pulls out a minigun that just does an insane amount of damage. That looks like 2.1 million damage, but it's not. It's 2,160 per shot for 10 seconds. It's decent, it's good. It just helps a little bit more wave clear on top of that, which is what she needs. Like I said, she's not a jack of all trades. That's not her strongest area, but it's still a decent skill. Debilitating Shots, and this one as well underneath it, Lingering Pain. So for those of you that don't know, Debilitating Shots basically stacks vulnerability onto your targets. And that's not just from you. So when you're shooting the target, if your friends are shooting the target as well, your teammates are shooting the target, that also applies as well. So it means that they get 5% more damage taken once you're shooting them. And the one underneath Lingering Pain means that it stacks up to 5 times. So you can actually have, 25% extra damage going into there as well. You've also got Steady Aim. Now, this makes her really useful with all different guns. So things like the Tiger, things like the Hacksaw, and things like that have got like a bit of a recoil on them. This is really good. Now, I've tried it on the Obliterator. The recoil on that is still intense. However, on a lot of guns, this actually gives her a lot of flexibility where she can use that. Shockwave we've talked about already. That's like the ground and pound where she jumps on the ground in like an Iron Man type stance, which is cool. Quick Clip increases reload speed by 30%. Do you know what? That's a standard perk. That is absolutely insane. It's great that she's got that. Do you know what? It means that then sometimes if you've got a gun, and you've got the 30% magazine size on it, you've also automatically by default got the reload speed on there as well. Make It Rain is a huge one for her. This is a massive thing for the Urban Assault Headhunter. Headshotting enemies increases ranged weapon rate of fire by 25% for 5 seconds. So that's why she's so awesome. So the rate of fire actually gets faster. If you land in the headshots, you can actually see the weapon start to fire faster, and it looks brilliant when you're using that on, anything that's got like a, like an LMG or anything that's got a good rate of fire on it already. You can even tell it's physically visible when you're actually in game. Then you've got rain faster. So if that's not enough for you, we've even got rain faster. So increases the rate of fire for Make It Rain by another 25%. That's 50%. Imagine that as well. And you've got rate of fire on your weapon already. You might have that on there as well. You can imagine what kind of insane damage she can put out from weapons. She does empty ammo out pretty quickly, but that's kind of a job. That's what she's for. Got the frag grenades as well, so team her up, like I said before, with the double agent, and you can actually have them so they actually cluster as well. Great for a bit more wave clear that she's got. Really, really versatile in that sense. Kneecapper, brilliant skill, so increases the effectiveness of debilitating shots vulnerability by 9%. So we said about it stacking the 25% vulnerability. Well, now it's not. Now it's actually 9 times that you can stack that on there, meaning you get a 40% vulnerability as well. If the math is wrong on that, feel free to put that in the comments. But to my knowledge, that means 40% extra damage going in. And then you've also got Keep Out, which leaves like a static energy field around once you've dropped the bomb. A bit like the mythic Grenadier Ramirez, who you can get out there as well. But all in all, this hero is probably the go-to hero. If you want a hero, if this is one you've not got, this is the one you should be after, because this is the one who can hold her own the most in pretty much every mission and pretty much every scenario. She's got the tools and she's got the skills for pretty much any situation. So situational or not, you'll never go wrong taking an Urban Assault Headhunter into a mission. The only downside with her, as I said, you can empty ammo out pretty fast, and if you're someone who doesn't hit headshots regularly, you're going to be wasting a lot of damage. Now, if you want, if you're someone who's not great at headshots, you can use someone, say, like Bulletstorm Jonesy, because all you've got to do to get the rate of fire with him is just pull the trigger. The only thing with him is he's not got a lot of the other skills what the Urban Assault Headhunter's got, and when you've got this person, Bulletstorm Jonesy and the Chrome heroes become a little bit meh in comparison. But in the meantime, like I said, Bulletstorm Jonesy is a good alternative. Okay then, so another great one then. So I said I'd do an honourable mention. So we're going to do Master Grenadier Ramirez as well. She's a mythic. I got her in a Lama a while ago. I'd have to look back through so many videos to see where we got her. But, she's an honourable mention. I'm not going to go through the skills on the honourable mentions. I'll just quickly give a quick overview. But basically, if you look down at the bottom, she's an explosive expert with a powerful high-end frag grenade upgrades. So let's go down to the bottom here. What she's got is Cluster Bomb, which you get from the double agent already, so releases 6 cluster explosions around the impact site that will each do 25% of the original damage, and then she's got Keep Out as well, so leaves a residual energy field doing 15% of the initial grenade blast damage every 1 second over 10 seconds. Again, you can actually craft that almost into the Urban Assault Headhunter by using the double agent, but she's got it as standard, which means you can put other bonuses onto her as well in your support and your tactical slots. The bonus that she gives is actually great as well. Increases assault weapon damage by 24%, which is absolutely fantastic. You've got Survivalists. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm not sure if it's still broken or not. It's not something that I use very often. I think if you're playing the game right, most characters can kind of hold their own. They don't need this kind of skill. But, assault damage, definitely a huge one there, and definitely very well sought after. So, guys, that is the soldiers. So let's move over to constructors then. So in the constructors, obviously the main man, the guy, I've got Base Kyle, I've got Power Base Kyle, but it's this guy, Megabass Kyle. And look at that helmet. It looks absolutely awesome in his motorcycle style helmet. Or is it a welder's helmet? God, I'm not DIY at all. I'm the computer guy. So what you've got on here is Megabass Kyle then. Let's just look at his write-up down at the bottom. You've got to see this. So it says, a base specialist focused on maximum size, maximum damage, and great wall strength. So let's have a quick look down what he's got then. So he's got creative engineering, so increases build speed by 10, reduces building cost by 10. We expect that, is a constructor. Plasma pulse, so damage 1040.3 plasma energy damage, deploys a device which emits exploding plasma pulses every 0.125 seconds for 10 seconds. Personally, and it's the tiniest little gripe that I've got here, I would like that to be decoy. That would make him the best hero in the game by an absolute mile. He probably is already, he's up there. He's definitely up there. When it comes to constructors, he is the best constructor. I don't care what anybody says. I don't think anybody can match Megabass Kyle. But that being decoy, that would just make him perfection. It would be the perfect character in my eyes. Obviously, he's got a base, So we're going to come back to that later because there's loads of little bits to that. For those of you that don't know, and I'm sure most of you probably do, what the base does, you put it down and it gives perks to the surrounding tiles that you're building around. It might give them extra wall strength, it might give them, you know, extra durability, all sorts. But we'll go into that in a second. Let's come back to that. So you've got automated defenses then, increases base connectivity by 1 building piece. You've got fast build, so increases building construction speed by 24%. Obviously, that's always a great thing. You can build up quick, so it can build a huge base, a huge strong base really quickly. Bull Rush is one of my favourite skills. Does 4,458.2 blunt physical damage. The constructor charges forward 3 tiles, collecting enemies on a shield, knocking them back at the end of the rush or when colliding with a wall. So do you know what? Even 2-star level Megabass Kyle is awesome because he's got Bull Rush. But let's keep going. This guy just keeps getting better. Electrified floors. Enemies within the area affected by base take damage every 2 seconds. So it just automatically puts damage out there every 2 seconds to anyone that's walking over the base. So floor tiles for this guy, hugely important. Big Brother. Increases base connectivity by 1 building piece, making your base even bigger. He's called Megabass Kyle, so again, kind of expected that a little bit. Fully Contained increases the damage reflected by base by 50%. Super durable walls, thanks Megabass Kyle. And then we've also got Kinetic Overlord, a lot of you'll know that skill already. 3,715.2 energy damage. Damage type is considered plasma as well as energy. Critical hits with hardware melee weapons trigger Kinetic Overload, dealing additional damage and knockback to the target. Can trigger once every 6 seconds. So make sure you've got some sort of, you know, a good piece of hardware leveled up so that you can use it with Megabass Kyle, because that's his weapon of choice. Now the 2 main skills down here at the bottom are Lofty Architecture, so increases health of buildings within an area of base by 15%. And then you've got the Megabass skill itself, or the Megabass perk, if you like, increases base connectivity by 2 building pieces, so even bigger. So huge bases, you know, it's got connectivity on there as well, is an absolute beast when it comes down to it. And again, just down at the bottom, a base specialist focused on maximum size, maximum damage, and great wall strength. The only thing I would love to change, I'd change Plasma Pulse for decoy, but again, not essential. As I said, this guy is an absolute beast. Guys, what do you think? Have you got Megabass Kyle yet? Is he someone you want? And if so, why? Do you know, I mean, we've got enough reasons down there why, but what skill is it that actually makes you think, yeah, I want that guy, you know, that's the guy for me? Okay, so let's move on. Okay, honourable mentions, although not the greatest hero, not the greatest constructor. I stopped leveling it up after some talks in Reddit about her. But do you know, honourable mentions is got to be Miss Bunnypenny, just because she's the coolest looking hero in the game, I think. Do you know, the thing is, when the Easter event runs out, this skin kind of becomes a little bit like, what the hell? Do you know, it's like running around with the Halloween skins, do you know, what a time when it's not Halloween, like Halloween skin at Christmas perhaps, but still the most awesome looking skin in the game, so that is why she gets an honourable mention. A good alternative, you know, for if you've not got Megabass Kyle, would be this guy, Power-Based Nox. As I said, I'm not going to go down the skills, but to me, he's the next best thing. So if you're not able to get Megabass Kyle, then definitely Power-Based Nox is a good alternative. I've only got the epic version of him, but you know, the legendary version of him also just makes him even better. So definitely one to look out for is Power-Based Nox. Okay then, so the best ninja is got to be... It is absolutely not that guy. Okay, for me, it's Dragon Scourge. Everyone's going to have their own opinions on ninja. It's such a controversial class. It's one... I'm not a huge fan of using a ninja. I just don't find them very fun to play. However, that doesn't mean they're not fun to play. Everyone's got their own play style, and I completely understand, you know, why people use these guys. You know, ninjas are meant to get in behind the back line, you know, take out things like flingers, take out the zappy face guys and all the other guys in there. I completely understand why ninjas are enjoyable. But one ninja I love playing and one ninja I really enjoy is Dragon Scourge. Now, I've not leveled him up fully yet. Do you know, I've got to level him up a little bit more. But let's just go down his skills. So obviously he's got Shinobi, so he gets to reduce fall damage by 10% and increase sprint and run speed by 10%. Mantis Leap, every ninja should have. Do you know, ninja can leap once more, so they can basically double jump while they're jumping. Dragon Slash. Now, it's called Dragon Scorch, so you can see where this is going. Basically, the ninja springs forward 2 tiles, dealing 5,681.9 edged weapon damage to all enemies within 0.5 tiles. So half a tile. Doesn't seem very far. But, wait for it, as I said, this gets better. So you've also got Return of the Dragon, reduces the energy cost of Dragon Slash by 15, so it's now cheaper to cost it, which means you can keep casting it, or you can keep using that ability more often. You've got Wings of the Dragon, so increases the length of the Dragon Slash by 1 tile. So rather than go forward 2 tiles, he now goes forward 3 tiles. He's got throwing stars as well. Not as good as the Shuriken Master with the throwing stars, but still decent. Do you know, Ninja Hill's throwing stars in a straight line, throws 1, 1, then 2 stars in a quick series, dealing 2093.3 edged weapon damage with each star. He's also got Shadow Stance. This is as far as I've got him. Look, I've only got him up to level 12 at the minute, but we are going to take him all the way and we will use him later on in later videos. But after defeating an enemy with a melee weapon or edge damage, the ninja enters Shadow Stance for 4 seconds. During Shadow Stance damage, resistance is increased by 15%, Mantis Sleep costs 60% less energy, and the ninja becomes more difficult to see. True ninja style. Okay, these are the ones I've not unlocked yet. I had them open on my other character. As I said, I've just upgraded the rarity of Dragon Scorch because I wanted to unlock these two. But we've got Shroud of the Dragon. So Dragon Slash now activates Shadow Stance. Oh my god, so he's going to now do the Dragon Slash, and when he gets to the end of it, he's going to go into Shadow Stance, making him hard to see. Brilliant for getting into big crowds. He doesn't have to worry as much, about getting into big swarms of husks. He can actually, he's supposed to be on the front line. He's supposed to be there in the mix with all the husks when they're swarming in, doing his thing with the Dragon Slash. You've also got Shadowier Stance, so increases the damage resistance granted by Shadow Stance by 15%. He's got Smoke Bomb, so he throws a Smoke Bomb down, creating a cloud that persists for 6 seconds, and the cloud slows all enemies inside it by 30%, dealing 2,332.6 damage every second. So he's a very good, he's like the SAS, very hit and run, get in there with a massive wave clear, can get back out again, using the Shadow Stance and the Smoke Bomb, and then basically all you do is rinse repeat that, and he can just clear droves and droves and droves of husks at a time. So as if that's not enough, he's also got Legendary Blade, so he does an additional 35% sword damage while Shadow Stance is active. So the big one then is Breath of the Dragon. So Dragon Slash has doubled its area effect, additionally increases the damage of Dragon Slash by 50%. So that is massive. If you look at his right up at the bottom, uses the powerful Dragon Slash to destroy large groups of enemies, and Shadow Stance to survive the fury of combat. So it even says there, look, to survive the fury of combat. So he is an in and out kind of character. So he's supposed to get in there as a hero, take out the big wave, and then get back to the line, where the soldiers will be putting in their fire. So he's massively fun to play. And the bonus that he gives as well is Bloody Bull. So when we looked at Megabass Kyle, for example, what he will do is Bull Rush afflicts damage targets, dealing 30% extra damage per second for 3 seconds. A little bit like Debilitating Shots in a little way, I guess. But yeah, guys, Dragon Scorch are definitely one who you must get. If you get him in a Lama, or you happen to get him, he's in the store right now actually as an epic, definitely worth picking up. He's one you definitely shouldn't miss. Honourable Mentions is kind of two, really. There's Harvester Sarah, who's pretty good, definitely one worth leveling up, and then the other one would be Shuriken Master Sarah as well. I know that's one of Split Screen's favourite. He uses Shuriken Master quite a lot as his go-to ninja. Everyone's got different playstyles, as I said. Also, Dim McMahon is pretty decent as well, and definitely worth the look in. So there's a lot of ninja choices, there's a lot of options for you, but I would definitely go Dragon Scorch first, and then either Harvester Sarah, Shuriken Master Sarah, or Dim McMahon. All three of those are also good second viable choices. Okay then, so another controversial area, Outlanders. Who should you be looking for as an Outlander? Personally, I've got two favourites. My first one is going to be Archaeologist. She's the main one. She's the must-buy. Basically exactly the same as Pathfinder Jess. The only reason I leveled up my other one, Archaeologist, is purely because I've got a better version of her. I've got the Legendary version. So I've got Legendary, and that's Pathfinder there, look, as an Epic. Now, they're exactly the same. They're absolute reskins, if you compared them two together. So if you compare and compare, if you look going down here, everything's the same. So all the way down, everything's exactly the same, all the skills and everything else. It's just that I've got the higher tier of that one, which is why we've gone for this one. So let's have a quick look. So we've got Focused Acquisition, so increases chance to find double loot by 6%. You've got In the Zone, so after 5 hits in a row with a pick, gain In the Zone, increases pickaxe damage by 24%. She's obviously got the Loot Llamas as well, which are great, especially if you're gathering. She's like the gathering master, this one. You've got your Teddy as well, which is great. If you're getting harassed while you're gathering, I sometimes go back into Plankerton to gather just to get my basic materials. If you've seen the farming guide, I'll link that down below. You'll know why, but often I'll just drop the Teddy down. That'll get rid of the mobs, and I just carry on farming. Just means you don't have to have a break in farming, and you're getting more materials per second. You've got Passing Zone, so increases run speed while in the zone by 12%. Great for getting around, you know, like rock to rock, tree to tree, or even it might be just metal area to metal area. Just means, again, you're getting more resources per second because everything's going faster. You've got Keen Eyes, so reveals containers that contain valuable objects within 2 tiles while in the zone. Really good to stop you wasting time. You know, if there's something, a container, you don't want to be opening everything up. I know some of you will be. I know there's some of you looking at the screen now saying, well, I open everything. And I used to as well, and I totally understand why. But when you've got bags that are full, you know, you just can't be doing that. But if you see one that's like glowing purple, you know, then you've probably got to open that. Anti-material charge then, so performs a punch that travels 1 tile, dealing damage to any structured punch, and 3,284.5 blunt damage to enemies struck. This punch will knock back smaller enemies. So I don't really use that in combat. I just use that for getting through walls. You know, if I'm, again, wanting to speed up my materials per second, if I've got a big rock that comes up, then I will just break the big rock with anti-material charge, and then I will carry on. You've then also got Loot Find, so 6% extra chance to find double loot. You've got Work, increases harvesting weapon by 24%. You've also got Keen Eyes, so increases the range of Keen Eyes by 1%, so you can spot them chests and all that valuable loot much more easily. Phase shift is great. You know, if you're farming, you know, like big areas, or you're in an industrial zone and you're getting metal that way, then you can just kind of phase shift in between cars. Again, your materials per second is just through the roof. Now, the jewel in the crown, or the diamond in the llama, if you like, is the diamond llama. So increases yield of building materials and crafting ingredients within the loot llama by 50%. Drops crystals and doubles the amount of ore dropped when the loot llama is completely destroyed. So that is huge. You know, drops crystals and doubles the amount of ore dropped when the loot llama is completely destroyed. So it's absolutely great. Again, it's just maximizing your materials per second every time that you find those. And then the last one is Deep in the Zone, increases damage resistance by 14% and pickaxe damage by an additional 24% during in the zone. So down at the bottom, the right up then, focused on harvesting damage and resource collection, using in the zone to move quickly, and Keen Eyes to spot valuable loot. So as you can imagine, Pathfinder Jess and Archaeologist, 2 absolute beasts when it comes to material gathering. I mean, I don't really use Outlanders for combat. This is what I use them for. My go-to heroes at the minute, probably Constructor and Soldier. Do you know, Soldiers are the most popular. Do you know, I saw a poll on by Epic Games when they were asking people. I know everybody didn't take part in that, but it was clear that the Soldiers are by strides the most popular class. But Outlanders are great fun to play, and whether you enjoy farming or not, if you don't like farming, this will just get it done quick. It gets it out of the way. If you enjoy farming, then you're going to maximize with this hero, and you're going to get the most materials per second. So honorable mentions then. My most fun to play is 10-shot Jess. Just because she's got the longer teddy on there, she's got more damage. I need to finish leveling up. I thought I had done that. I've got 1 level off. But yeah, so do you know, just because she's got the extra teddy damage on there, she's got the headshot damage, she's good with snipers. So, you know, so if you team her up with the Urban Assault Headhunter, which we looked at earlier, and you use her perk in there, increases headshot damage multiplier of ranged weapons by 27%, then you can imagine 10-shot Jest is a bit of a beast. So definitely fun to play. She's not considered one of the best Outlanders, but definitely worth an honourable mention. Also as well, Recon Scout Eagle Eye, you know, really good one if you can get her as well. She's got some great treasure finding, you know, and boosted loot perks that you can use on there as well. Bloodfinder AC, you know, he's another Pathfinder basically, so he's another reskin. You've got Pathfinder, so again, if you do that and we do compare to Pathfinder Jess, if we go down the skills, as you can see, you've actually got a Pathfinder Jess there. Some people didn't know that when I was saying that in the Discord, but yeah, Bloodfinder AC is just basically Pathfinder Jess all over again. So we've basically got Bloodfinder AC, Archaeologist, and Pathfinder Jess, all the same, all great for farming. Alright then guys, well that's everything that I've got for you for now. So they're what I think are the must-have heroes. So when you're opening llamas, they're the ones that I would get most excited about when you get them. When I certainly got them heroes, they're definitely ones that I were the most excited for. They're the ones that I wanted. Obviously there's some great event heroes that are always worth looking out for. Do you know, Raven's great, Carbide's great, the Cloakstar and Fleetwood can look good. Do you know, they're not people I would use, you know, but they look great. But guys, who's your favourite hero? Let me know down below. Who should make this list? Who's a must-buy hero that I've missed out? There's going to be somebody in there. So, guys, let me know. And you know what? If I agree with it, I'll put a thumbs up and I'll give you a heart on the comment as well, because there's definitely people who I've missed in there. But they're who I think are the main ones. So if someone's new to Save the World and they said, you know, Litanah, who's the best heroes? They're the ones who spring to mind first. Now, there might be someone else. Do you know, I know Harvester Sarah's definitely someone who a lot of people like. You know, she's got a big fan base as well out there, do you know, with you guys. But, guys, let me know in the comments down below. Guys, don't forget, Stonesy Jonesy did make an appearance somewhere in this video. So make sure that you spot him for your chance to win 2,500 V-Bucks at the end of the month. We're going to do a draw, and I might even do 2 winners at the rate that we're going, because the entries now are getting absolutely insane. There's a lot of people who are spotting him. I'm trying to make him harder to find, but you guys are getting better at spotting him. So, you know, make sure that you look out for him. If you're not subscribed to the channel, why not hit that red button? I would love to see you guys again. And take care, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.